The chlorinated water stung Alex's eyes as he exploded off the blocks, his body slicing through the pool like a blade forged in fire. But midway down the lane, a shout from the bleachers shattered the roar of the crowd. "Hey, freak! We know your dirty little secret." And the world tilted, his stroke faltering as heads turned, whispers turning to gasps. In that instant, Alex Thorne knew his Olympic dreams had just drowned in betrayal, outed by the teammate he'd trusted most, vanishing not into the depths but into the shadows of a life he never chose. Alex surfaced gasping, the scoreboard blurring through the haze of water and humiliation. The aquatic center in Austin buzzed with the aftermath of the regional qualifiers, but for him, it was ground zero. Jake Harlan, his supposed best friend on the University of Texas swim team, had leaked the photo. Alex at a pride rally last summer, arm around a guy from the local activist group. Jake's words echoed in Alex's head from their locker room confrontation earlier. "Man, it's just locker room talk. Lighten up." But it wasn't talk. It was a grenade lobbed into Alex's carefully guarded world. He climbed out, towel clutched like a shield, ignoring the stares from teammates and coaches. Coach Ramirez called after him, voice laced with concern. "Thorne, wait. We need to talk strategy for nationals." Strategy? Alex's laugh was bitter, silent. There was no strategy for this. No flip turn to escape the venom now seeping into every corner of his life. His phone vibrated nonstop in his bag. Texts from friends, family, strangers. "Is it true?" from his sister Miah. "Proud of you, bro," from an old high school buddy. And the ugliest, "Faggot doesn't belong in the pool," from an anonymous account. By the time Alex reached his dorm, the decision crystallized like ice on a frozen lane. He packed a single duffel, swimsuit, a few changes of clothes, his faded Longhorns towel, and left a note for his roommate. "Need space. Back soon." Lies came easy now. He slipped out the back, hailing a rideshare to the Greyhound station under the cover of twilight. Austin's skyline receded as the bus rumbled north toward the anonymity of Chicago, a city big enough to swallow secrets whole. Alex stared out the window, the neon lights blurring into streaks of regret. Swimming had been his anchor, the one place where his body betrayed no lies, where strokes measured worth in seconds, not whispers. Now, even that felt tainted. In Chicago, the wind off Lake Michigan bit like judgment, but it was better than the suffocating heat of Texas gossip. Alex crashed on a cousin's couch in Wrigleyville, lying about a training sabbatical to avoid questions. Days blurred into weeks of aimless wandering, jogging along the lakefront at dawn, volunteering at a community center to keep his hands busy. There, he met Lena, a sharp-tongued barista with a pixie cut and a trans pride pin on her apron. She spotted his swimmer's build immediately. "You move like water," she said one rainy afternoon, sliding him a free coffee. "But your eyes say you're drowning." Lena became his lifeline, dragging him to underground poetry slams where queer voices roared against the silence. "This city's got scars," she told him over late-night falafel, her own story spilling out. Kicked out at 16, rebuilding in the shadows of Boys Town. Alex opened up in fragments. The betrayal, the vanish, the ache for the water that now felt like a graveyard. "I was this close to nationals," he confessed, tracing circles in the condensation on his glass. One photo and poof, ghost. She didn't pity him. Lena hated pity. Instead, she challenged him. "Hide forever or fight back. Your call, fish boy." Her words planted seeds, but roots were slow to take. Alex found a part-time gig coaching kids at a rec center pool in Pilsen, a neighborhood pulsing with murals of defiant saints and lovers. The children, rowdy, unfiltered, didn't care about his past. They splashed and laughed, their trust a balm. Little Sophia, with her gap-toothed grin, dubbed him Coach Wave after he taught her the freestyle pull. For the first time in months, Alex felt the pull of purpose, faint but insistent. Yet nightmares clawed at sleep. Jake's smirk in the locker room, the crowd's turning tide. And then there was Ryan, the quiet diver from the team back in Austin, whose texts had gone unanswered. Ryan, with his easy smile and shared late-night lane sessions, had always felt like more than a teammate. Was it love? Alex had buried that question deep, fearing it would capsize everything. Now, in exile, it resurfaced like a buoy in storm-tossed waves. Fall turned to winter, Chicago's grip tightening. News trickled in via Mia's emails. The team had imploded after the scandal, Jake benched for conduct, Coach Ramirez fighting the university for better protections. Come home, Miah urged. We miss you. Ryan asks about you every practice. Alex's heart stuttered at the name, but fear held him fast. Home wasn't a place anymore. It was a minefield. One blizzard night, holed up in Lena's tiny apartment with hot toddies and a stack of old VHS tapes of Olympic swims, Alex broke. I can't go back, he whispered, tears freezing on his lashes. They'll see the weakness, the shame. Lena pulled him into a hug, fierce and unyielding. Shame's their weapon, not yours. You're the one who flies through water like it's air. Own that. The next morning, clarity struck like a perfect dive. Alex booked a ticket south, not to Austin, but to a small training camp in Florida, run by a retired Olympian known for second chances. It was a gamble, anonymous registration under a pseudonym. As the plane lifted off, Chicago shrinking below, Alex gripped the armrest, pulse racing like pre-race jitters. Vanishing had saved him, but returning? That would remake him. Florida's humidity wrapped around him like an old friend, the Gulf Coast pool a turquoise promise under palm-dappled skies. Coach Ellis, grizzled and no-nonsense, took one look at Alex's form during tryouts and grunted approval. You've got ghosts, kid. We all do. Lap it out. No questions about the gap year, the rumors that had somehow followed like barnacles. Here, Alex was just another body in the water, strokes erasing the noise. Training was brutal. Dawn sets, weight sessions till muscles screamed, video analysis picking apart every inefficiency. But in the rhythm of flip turns, Alex found fragments of himself pieced back. The competitor who'd shattered state records at 17, the dreamer who'd inked Fear the Water on his wrist in faded blue. Evenings brought quiet connections, a shared meal with Kai, a non-binary distance swimmer from Seattle, whose tattoos told stories of binding scars and breakthroughs. Transitioned mid-college, Kai said casually over grilled fish, eyes on the horizon. Team called me a distraction till I meddled at Pac-12s. Proves them wrong every time. Kai's resilience mirrored Lena's, a reminder that the queer world was vast, woven with threads of survival and joy. They talked late into humid nights. Alex about Jake's betrayal, the locker room code that crumbled under pressure. Kai about family estrangement, the quiet victories of being seen. Love's the real stroke, Kai joked, keeps you buoyant. Alex laughed, but the word lingered, conjuring Ryan's face, those hazel eyes crinkling in chlorine-scented solidarity. Word of Alex's presence leaked slowly, a teammate from UT spotting him at a regional meet. Whispers rippled back to Austin. Thorns alive, training incognito. Miah called, voice cracking. Ryan's a wreck, Alex. He thinks it's his fault for not saying something sooner. Guilt twisted like a cramp. Ryan had known. Glimpses, unspoken vibes during cool-down chats. Had he stayed silent out of fear? Or protection? Alex pushed harder, times dropping like stones in still water. But doubts surfaced. What if return meant rejection? What if love, that fragile butterfly stroke, couldn't withstand the current? One evening, post-set, Coach Ellis pulled him aside. Heard about the outing. Brave to come back. But bravery ain't solo. It's the relay that wins. Ellis's own story tumbled out then. Closeted in the 80s, outed by tabloids, career derailed. Lost everything. Gained a life. You choose. The choice loomed as nationals approached, venue back in Austin. Alex's entry under his real name hit the wires, a quiet thunder. Reporters circled, hungry for the vanished prodigy's tale. Jake's apology email arrived unbidden. I was scared, man. Wrong. Forgive. Alex deleted it, rage a poor fuel. Forgiveness would come, if at all, on his terms. Back in Texas, the air hummed with anticipation. Alex arrived incognito, hood up against the spring sun, checking into a nondescript motel off I-35. Miah enveloped him at the airport, tears and hugs a whirlwind. You're home, she whispered. Home. The word tasted like salt water, briny and true. Rehearsals with the team were a minefield. Coach Ramirez clapped him on the back, eyes fierce. Proud kid. Slots you in 200 free relay. Teammates approached warily, some averted eyes, others offered nods. Then Ryan, lingering by the blocks, voice low. Missed you. Thought I'd lost my favorite anchor. Alex's breath caught, the space between them electric, unspoken. Couldn't stay away, he replied, meeting those hazel eyes. A hand brushed his, accidental, intentional, and the world narrowed to that touch. But harmony fractured fast. Jake cornered him post-practice, face gaunt. Alex, it was a stupid prank. Pressure from the vets. Prank? The word ignited fury. You stole my shot, Jake. My privacy. My love, he almost said, glancing at Ryan across the deck. Fists clenched, words flew, accusations, defenses, the raw underbelly of brotherhood betrayed. Teammates pulled them apart, but the damage lingered, a riptide threatening the relay's unity. Nights brought solace in stolen moments. Ryan found him at a quiet diner off campus, booths scarred with initials of lovers past. I should have spoken up, Ryan admitted, fingers tracing the menu's edge. Liked you too much to risk it. The confession hung, vulnerable as a novice dive. Alex reached across, palm to palm. Scare me too. But here we are. Their first kiss was tentative, tasting of coffee and chlorine, a promise amid the storm. Yet doubt whispered. Could this bloom in prejudice's shadow? Lena called from Chicago, voice a beacon. Heard about the drama. Channel it, Alex. You're not vanishing again. Kai texted memes of triumphant mermaids. Their voices formed a chorus, queer and unbowed, reminding him strength was collective. As prelims dawned, tension coiled like a spring. The aquatic center thrummed, crowds thicker than before, media pens poised. Alex's heat in the 200 free was electric, strokes mechanical at first, then fluid, ghosts exorcised in every pull. He qualified, time shaving seconds off his personal best. Whispers turned to cheers, thorns back. But the relay loomed, anchor leg his burden. Jake swam lead off, redemption in his lane. Ryan second, steady as ever. Third was Marco, the team's fiery butterfly specialist, who'd once hurled slurs in jest, now silent, eyes apologetic. Handoffs crisp in practice masked the fractures. Pre-race huddle, coach's pep talk, hands stacked. Alex felt the weight, not just victory, but vindication. Gun cracked. Jake dove, powerful but ragged, touching first. Ryan's breaststroke smooth, gaining ground. Marco's fly a whirlwind, edge reclaimed. Then Alex. Water embraced him, cool absolution. Lungs burned, arms pistoned, the wall rushed forward. Touch, record shattered, national mark in the 4x200 free relay, his split the fastest ever. Pandemonium erupted, screams, splashes, embraces. Jake pulled him up, tears mingling. Sorry doesn't cut it, but thank you. Alex nodded, release flooding. Ryan's hug lingered, whisper hot. We did it. Together. In the quiet aftermath, under stadium lights fading to dusk, Alex stood with Ryan, hands entwined. Prejudices cracked, not gone, society's tide turned slow. But here, in victory's glow, love anchored firm. Miah snapped a photo, Lena hooped via video. Kai sent confetti emojis. The vanished swimmer had returned, not unbroken, but reforged, waves parting for the one who dared dive deep. Yet triumph's afterglow hid undercurrents. Weeks later, as Olympic trials beckoned, a new shadow loomed. Anonymous threats scrawled on locker room mirrors. Queers don't meddle. Jake confessed orchestrating the original leak under pressure from a homophobic donor, begging alliance. Ryan, wrestling his own closet, faced family ultimatums. Alex's resolve tested anew. Fight solo, or rally the fractured. The trials in Omaha were a crucible, pools steaming under arena spotlights. Alex's individual 100 free heat crackled. Rivals like Devin Hale, the cocky phenom from Cal, trash-talking pre-race. Heard you like boys more than buoys, Thorne. Alex's response. A sub-48 split, shaving the field. But relay selection bred resentment. Jake pushed for inclusion, Marco wavered. Off deck, bonds deepened. Ryan came out publicly in a team meeting, voice steady. Alex showed me courage's face. Backlash swift, sponsors pulled, whispers of boycotts. Yet allies rose. Coach Ramirez testified at a university hearing on protections. Lena flew in for moral support. Her sign at the stands, swim free, love fierce. Kai mentored Marco through his biases, one awkward beer at a time. Climax crested in the finals relay. Tensions peaked. Jake's leadoff faltered, a cramp seizing mid-stroke. Ryan powered through, but the gap yawned. Marco's fly redeemed, fierce apology in motion. Alex anchored, water of fury, strokes blurring past pain, love's pull propelling. Wall hit, Olympic berth secured, record intact. But twist struck post-victory. Devin, revealed as threat's source, exposed in a leaked email chain plotting sabotage. Expulsion followed, fractures mending in the fallout. Jake redeemed through advocacy, founding a team alliance group. Ryan and Alex's relationship bloomed public, hands held at pressers, a quiet revolution. As Paris Olympics dawned, Alex dove not just for gold, but for the boy beside him, the family forged in fire. Prejudices lingered, but they'd learned, vanish no more. In water's embrace, they swam toward dawn, united, unbroken, boundless. The Parisian sun glinted off the Seine as Alex and Ryan stepped off the plane, the city of light feeling less like romance and more like a pressure cooker. Olympic Village buzzed with athletes from every corner, sprinters trading barbs with gymnasts, rowers nursing blisters over croissants. But for Alex, the pools at La Défense Arena loomed like Judgment Day, every lap a referendum on his resurrection. Ryan squeezed his hand under the table at orientation, a secret anchor amid the chaos. "We made it," he murmured, hazel eyes alight. Alex nodded, but inside, whirlpools churned. What if the world stage amplified the hate? What if love proved the weakest link? Training camps were a grind, jet lag warring with dawn drills. Coach Ramirez, flown in as assistant, barked adjustments. Thorne, tighten that catch. Paris waits for no ghosts. Jake tagged along as alternate, his presence a barbed wire fence, forgiven, but not forgotten. Marco, evolved into reluctant ally, roomed with them, his late-night confessions over room service fries painting a portrait of a man unlearning hate. Grew up in a house where gay was a curse, he admitted. You guys? You're rewriting the script. Off-pool, Paris seduced. Stolen evenings, Ryan and Alex wandering Montmartre, fingers laced as street artists sketched their silhouettes. Feels like a dream, Ryan said, pausing at Sacré-Cœur, city sprawling below. Alex pulled him close, kissed salt tange from earlier laps. Nightmare to dream, that's our story. But dreams frayed, a tabloid splash. U.S. swim squad's secret bromance, scandal or strategy? Stirred the pot. Sponsors hedged, fans divided. Lena, watching from Chicago, texted fire emojis. Burn it down, babies. Lena's visit mid-camp injected chaos and catharsis. She arrived whirlwind style, pixie cut dusted with Eiffel Tower confetti, crashing their dorm with tales of Boys Town rallies. Brought glitter bombs for the haters, she quipped, then grew serious, pulling Alex aside. Heard the whispers, watch your back. Paris ain't all croissants. Her warning echoed when Kai video called, non-binary voice a steady hum. Team's got your six. Remember, we're the tide that erodes rocks. Personal tides ebb too. Alex's parents, long distant, showed at trial's end. His dad, stoic engineer, gripping his shoulder. Proud, son. Didn't know how to say it sooner. Tears welled. Bridges mended in halting words. Miah orchestrated family dinners, her laughter a glue. Ryan's clan proved thornier, conservative Midwest roots clashing with his outness. A tense call home ended in slammed receivers, Ryan collapsing into Alex's arms. They'll come around. Or they won't. But I have you. Prelims dawned humid, arena electric with 15,000 souls. Alex's 100 free, guns crack, dives arc, water yielding then resisting. Devin Hale, redeemed post-scandal into fierce competitor, nipped at his heels, sub, 47 exchanges, crowd roaring. Alex touched first, Olympic final berth his, time a whisper under world record pace. Hugs cascaded. Ryan's fierce, Jake's awkward, Marco's backslap genuine. That's my anchor, Ryan grinned, but eyes shadowed. His own butterfly event tomorrow, nerves fraying. That night, village quieted, but sleep evaded. Alex slipped to the rooftop terrace, stars smudged by city glow. Ryan joined, blanket wrapped. Scared, Alex asked, Ryan nodded. Of failing you. Us. Vulnerability cracked open doors. They talked till dawn. Fears of post-gold irrelevance. Dreams of a life beyond lanes. Adopt a rescue pup. Coach kids like you did in Pilsen, Ryan mused. Alex laughed, heart swelling. Love, he'd learned, wasn't absence of storm, but dancing in rain. Ryan's prelims proved tempestuous. Butterfly's undulating fury suited his spirit, but a false start rattled. Red disqualification buzzer blaring. Disbelief froze him mid-pool, teammates hauling him out. Technicality? Coach growled, but rules were iron. Ryan's Olympics gutted, silver linings of relay hopes dimmed. Back in quarters, he shattered a water bottle, shards glinting like tears. Ruined it. For the team. 4. Alex silenced him with a kiss, fierce. You're not ruined. You're real. Rebound was raw. Jake stepped up, offering his alternate slot for Ryan's mental reset. No ego, just equity. Marco mediated team huddle, voice thick. We're family, messed up but fighting. Lena organized an impromptu queer athletes mixer. Kai zooming in from Seattle trials, stories swapped like batons. Ryan emerged tempered, steel in gaze. For you, he told Alex, pre-relay huddle. For us. Finals night pulsed with history. Law defense thrummed, flags waving like breaths held. U.S. relay. Jake leadoff, redemption stroke hauling early lead. Marco's fly explosive, gap widened. Ryan's breaststroke, haunted but heroic, frothy power closing on Australia. Alex anchored, world narrowing to black line, wall. Pulls burned prophecy. Betrayal sting, love's lift, community's chorus. Touch, gold, world record pulverized, screams shattering sound barriers. Medal ceremony blurred in euphoria, anthems swelling, necks heavy with hardware. Jake's grin sheepish, Marco's whoop primal, Ryan's eyes locked on Alex's, promise etched. Press, frenzy followed. From outed to Olympian, thorns triumph. Questions probed scars, betrayal's fuel. Alex leaned on Ryan's shoulder. Loves the fire. Post-gold haze, parade floats, sponsor schmoozes, but anchors held. Paris nights theirs, sane cruises, whispers of futures. Lena toasted at a bistro. To vanishings that birth legends. Kai prophesied. This is just the flip turn. Yet closure circled. Jake's donor ties unraveled an expose. Justice a quiet wave. Ryan's family thawed with a letter, first steps. Alex, surveying it all from a cafe perch, felt the pull. Not back to shadows, but forward, waves parting eternal. Return to Austin was heroes' welcome twisted with normalcy. Longhorns banners draped campus, but Alex craved quiet. Poolside sunsets with Ryan, Mia's barbecues laced with inside jokes. Coaching gig at Pilsen Rec expanded, kids' eyes wide at Olympic coach wave. Lena relocated south, opening a cafe, Thorns Brew, half joking. Kai joined UT staff, non-binary rep rippling through aquatics. Challenges lingered, media fatigue, prejudices aftershocks. A rival coach's slur at a meet sparked boycott threats, but Alex testified at congressional hearings, voice steady. Sports for all strokes, all souls. Ryan proposed mid-dive, ring glinting on pool bottom, retrieved gasping, laughing. Forever anchor? Yes, breathless. Years folded, gold stacked, families blended, alliances bloomed. Jake's group went national, Marco its Midwestern face. Alex's memoir, Vanished Lanes, Charted Depths, bestseller bomb. In Twilight Swims, Ryan beside, Alex traced wrist tattoo. Fear the water. No, embrace it. Love, loss, legend, the current carried on. Decades later, Alex Thorne stood at the edge of the very pool that had nearly claimed him. The Austin Aquatic Center now a shrine to queer triumph. Plaques gleaming with records unbroken, murals of intertwined hands stroking toward horizons. Gray threaded his temples, laugh lines etching stories of storms weathered. Ryan, Silver Fox handsome, clapped his shoulder. Speech time, legend. Alex grinned, heart full. The ceremony honored not just his vanish return arc, but the movement it ignited, scholarships for out athletes, policies shattering closets nationwide. As keynote, words flowed like freestyle ease. I vanished because fear whispered louder than waves. But love, yours, mine, Ours shouted back. We swim not alone, but allied. Applause thundered. Miah in front row dabbing eyes. Lena whooping from the stands. Kai signing emphatically beside her. Jake, humbled elder statesman of swim equity, nodded from the panel, full circle etched in scars shared. Post-ceremony mingle. Old teammates swapped tales, Marco's kids cannonballing lanes. A young swimmer approached, voice tentative. Coach Thorne? Your story. It gave me guts to come out. Alex knelt, eye level. Guts is the real medal, kid. Wear it proud. Ryan watched, pride a quiet tide. Their life, post-Paris, had woven domestic joys. Adopted twins splashing kiddie pools. Travels tracing queer histories from Stonewall to Sydney Mardi Gras. But retrospection stirred ghosts. That night, over wine on their lakeside porch, Ryan mused. Ever regret not vanishing forever? Alex sipped, stars pricking sky. Regret silence, maybe. But every twist, Jake's fall, Devin's rise, your hand in mine, built this. Kiss deepened, timeless. Echoes rippled forward. Lena's cafe thrived, hub for activists. Kai's coaching empire mentored trans phenoms. Marco's foundation funded rec programs in red states. Biases bridged one lane at a time. Alex's advocacy peaked in D.C., testifying for Title IX expansions. Pools, like promises, must hold all. Victories stacked, bans lifted, hearts opened. Family chapters bloomed. Ryan's parents, once frosty, now grandparents doting via FaceTime. Alex's dad penned letters of late apology, treasured. Mia's wedding danced with rainbow toasts. Twins, Ellie and Jordan, grew fierce. Ellie captaining debate, Jordan out and proud in high school track. Challenges evolved. Ages creep slowing strokes. Media's glare on legacy. A biopic pitched, vanished gold, drew offers, but Alex demurred. Our stories lived, not scripted. Ryan chuckled. Unless I play you, still got the abs. Twilight years gifted reflection. Annual retreats. Chicago reunions with Lena, Florida camps echoing rebirth. One eve, poolside in Paris Redux. Alex dove last, water memories cradle. Surfacing, Ryan waiting. Eternal relay? Always. Legacy? Not records etched in stone, but ripples. A swimmer vanished, returned unbreakable. Love the stroke that outlasted all. In every lane, a thorn echoed. Dive deep, swim true. Decades later, the Austin Aquatic Center gleamed under renovated lights, its walls a gallery of triumphs. Alex Thorne's faded photo from nationals beside fresh murals of diverse swimmers locked in embrace, strokes symbolizing unity. At 62, Alex's frame held the echo of power, shoulders broad but softened by time, hair a salt and pepper crown. Ryan, ever the steadier force, linked arms as they approached the podium for the dedication ceremony. Your moment, love, he whispered, hazel eyes still sparking with that first post-vanish fire. The crowd, teammates grayed, families multiplied, young athletes wide-eyed, hushed as Alex gripped the mic. His speech poured out, unscripted as a perfect heat. 25 years ago, I vanished from these lanes, outed and unmoored. Fear made me flee, but you, friends, foes turned family, lovers who held the rope, pulled me back. We don't just swim. We surge against currents of doubt, prejudice, silence. Today, this center bears my name not for records, but for the reminder. Every outed voice is a wave that reshapes shores. Applause crashed like breakers, Miah front and center, her twins, now teens, cheering loudest. Lena, pixie cut now a silver bob, hollered from the bleachers. That's my fish boy. Kai, beside her in a tailored suit, signed the words with emphatic flair, their partnership a quiet legend in coaching circles. The mingle post-ceremony was a time capsule cracked open. Jake Harlan, lines deep from years of atonement, clasped Alex's hand. Never thought I'd see this, he said, voice rough. His equity foundation had placed counselors in every major program. Jake its tireless face, redemption not erased, but earned. Marco Ruiz, belly rounding from dad life, hoisted a beer. From slurs to speeches, hell of a flip turn. His kids, splashing in the shallow end, embodied the change. A daughter with rainbow armbands leading relays, son shyly admitting a crush on his debate partner. A cluster of wide-eyed rookies encircled Alex, one lanky kid blurting, "Your Vanish story? It was my coming-out playlist. Gave me guts to tell my team." Alex crouched, meeting the boy's nervous gaze. Guts isn't given. It's grown, lap by lap. And when doubt dives in, remember, you've got a pod behind you. The kid beamed, scampering off. Ryan watched, arm around Alex's waist. "Still coaching souls, huh?" Dinner that night sprawled on their porch overlooking Lady Bird Lake, fairy lights twinkling like distant medals. Miah grilled ribs, her husband cracking dad jokes. The twins, Ellie and Jordan, debated politics with Kai's dry wit. Lena regaled with cafe tales, had a barista come out mid-shift last week. Whole line applauded, while Kai shared phenom stories. "My trans freestyler just smashed Junior Worlds." "Your Ripple, Alex." Wine flowed. Laughter bridged years, but as stars wheeled, conversation turned reflective. "Ever what if the vanish?" Ryan asked later, curled on the glider, head on Alex's shoulder. The question hung, a ghost surfaced. Alex traced Ryan's knuckles, scarred from old dives. "What ifs are dead ends. That bus to Chicago? Best stroke I never planned. Led to you, to us building this." Flashbacks flickered. Pills and kids splashes, Paris Gold's weight. Hearings where his voice cracked barriers. Ryan nodded, kiss lingering. From bromance to this, worth every wave. Their life post-Paris had layered like sedimentary rock, triumphs stratified with tenderness. Adopted at 40, Ellie and Jordan arrived whirlwinds. Ellie, the firebrand, captaining debate team with queer ally fire. Jordan, introspective artist, coming out at 15 with Alex's memoir as shield. Family holidays blended clans. Ryan's parents, thawed by grandkid photos, now Zoom regulars. Alex's dad, retired and reflective, penning annual letters. Learned late, but loving loud. Challenges hadn't vanished. They evolved. Age nipped at edges, shoulders protesting cold mornings, records yielding to youth. Media hounded legacy, a Netflix doc pitched, lanes of liberation, tempting but tabled. "Our stories in the living," Alex insisted. Ryan, semi-retired broadcaster, chuckled. "Unless I narrate, still got the voice." Adventures punctuated. Sabbatical in Sydney, tracing gay games roots. Chicago reunions where Lena's Cafe hosted storytelling nights. One retreat, Florida Camp Redux. Alex coached elders. Silver strokes build wisdom waves. Kai joined. Their duo mentoring a new gen. Non-binary divers, lesbian sprinters, all out and owning lanes. Activism peaked in Alex's 50s. DC testimonies for expanded protections, co-authoring Deep End Equity with Jake, a bestseller bridging divides. Marco's foundation funded rural programs, turning red state pools inclusive. Backlash flared. A 2020s wave of bans, but rallies rose. Alex's face on placards, swim free. Now, in golden years, quiet joys reigned. Mornings, tandem laps, slower but synced. Evenings, porch symphonies, twins updates, Ellie lawbound, Jordan gallery hunting. Ryan's proposal memory, ring fished from pool bottom, replayed in anniversaries, laughter eternal. Surveying the lake, Alex felt completion swell. Vanish had been fracture, return, fusion, love, the truest record, unbroken. To more waves, he toasted Ryan. Glasses clinked, future rippling infinite. The twins' graduation weekend in May brought Austin alive with azaleas and ambition, but for Alex and Ryan, it was a milestone laced with bittersweet, empty nest looming like an open lane. Ellie, cap in air, hugged them fierce. "You two taught me to dive without fear." Jordan, quieter, slipped Alex a sketch, intertwined swimmers under stars, labeled anchors away. Tears pricked, pride swelled. Miah hosted the after-party, Lena DJing old-school anthems, Kai toasting with sparkling cider, to launching legends. Post-send-off, house echoed hollow. Ryan paced kitchen, coffee steaming. What now? World tour? Or that cabin in the Smokies? Alex pulled him close, counter-cool against back. Both. And more laps, life's longest relay. Their rhythm adjusted, volunteering at local pride centers, Alex guest coaching Kai's online clinics. Jake dropped by unannounced, bearing apology pie. Apple, humble. Heard the kids flew. Thought of my screw-ups. You're the dad club I never deserved. Conversation meandered to current fights. A Texas bill threatening trans sports. We sue, Jake vowed. Alliance reignited. Summer's heat wave tested resolves. News broke of a high school swimmer outed online, parallels stinging. Alex drove to the panhandle town, Ryan shotgun, Lena carpooling rants. They met the kid, 17, eyes haunted, in a dusty diner. Feels like drowning on dry land, he confessed. Alex shared vanished scars. Hit rock bottom, surface stronger. You've got us now. Resources handed. Counselors, lawyers, seeds of solidarity. Kid's coach, initially hostile, softened over Jake's call, learned from Thorne's mess. Won't let history lap us. Fall brought harvest of change. Marco's Foundation Gala raised millions. Alex emceeing with wry humor. From flip turns to fundraisers. Who knew? Bids soared for signed medals. Proceeds building inclusive facilities. Ryan's broadcast gig spotlighted stories. A lesbian duo breaking barriers in synchronized swimming. Kai's protege snagging NCAA gold. Evenings, they binged docs on queer icons. Harvey Milk, Billie Jean King. Inspiration's fuel. Winter whispered vulnerabilities. Ryan's knee, old dive injury, flared. Alex's sleep fractured by phantom races. Therapy sessions, once taboo, became ritual, talking through hauntings. Betrayal's echo, Alex named it. Therapist nodded. Echoes fade when voices harmonize. Ryan's hand in his, always. Spring renewal, Paris anniversary, Eiffel Tower aglow. They dined where gold dreams hatched, reminiscing twists. Devin's redemption arc, now coaching under Kai. Full circle, Ryan said, fork midway. Alex smiled. Circles are for pools. Ours is helix, upward spiral. Back home, legacy bloomed unexpected. A university scholarship in their name drew applicants. Out youth from all states. First recipient, a trans teen from rural Oklahoma, emailed thanks. Your story swam to me. Alex framed it beside Gold's. Midlife's pivot deepened bonds. Ryan authored Breaststroke Bonds, memoir weaving their love through lanes. Alex illustrated simple sketches of hands clasped underwater. Bestseller again, tours packed with questions. How do you forgive Jake? Practice, Alex quipped. Daily strokes. Holidays with extended clan. Mia's expanding brood. Ryan's folks now annual visitors, toasting with eggnog. Jake's family, once fractured, blended in. Lena's partner, a poet, recited odes to resilience. Kai's wedding, non-binary ceremony under Seattle rains, drew all, vows echoing through every current. Challenges morphed, climate protests at meets, Alex chaining defenses, pools flood if we don't fight. Ryan filmed, voiceover steady. Health scares, a scare with Ryan's heart. Rallied support, Miah flying in, Lena baking care packages. 60th birthday bash, pool party redux, friends diving decades. Toasts flowed. Marco's to the man who made us better. Jake's redemption sponsor. Ryan's private gift, custom tattoo, matching Alex's, fear the water, love the wave. Into elders, they mentored quietly. Letters to strugglers, cameos at camps. House filled with grandkids' visits. Ellie's law clerk kidlets, Jordan's artist spawn, splashing, stories swapped. One eve, lakeside, Ryan mused, vanish feels lifetimes ago. Alex nodded, head on shoulder. It was the start. You, the horizon. Stars wheeled, water lapped. Legacy? Lives touched, loves lived, record eternal. Grandkids' laughter echoed through the house like flip turns in a crowded pool, a sound Alex and Ryan had chased through empty nest years. Now, in their late 60s, the Thorne Harlan home, renamed for two, bustled with many MES. Ellie's twins, boisterous engineers in training. Cannonballing the backyard kiddie pool. Jordan's daughter, a budding illustrator, sketching mermaids with pride flags. Miah orchestrated chaos, her silver streak matching Lena's, while Kai refereed games with impartial signs. This is the real gold, Ryan said, toweling a dripping grandkid, his knee brace a badge of battles won. But joy's underbelly stirred. News alerts pinged, a rollback on protections, echoes of old fights. Jake called, voice edged. They're targeting youth programs again. Gala funds ready. Alex's blood simmered. Retirement be damned. He and Ryan hopped a flight to D.C., Lena in tow for rally chants. Testifying anew, Alex's words cut sharper with age. I've seen closets crack empires. Don't rebuild them. Bills stalled, victories incremental, but grandkids' future fueled fire. Personal currents shifted too. Ryan's broadcast retirement party drew legends, Olympians toasting the voice of the deep end. Alex's speech, heartfelt. You narrated not just races, but rises. Post-party, quiet confessions. Ryan's fear of fading relevance. Alex cupped his face. You're my constant lap time. Perfect every time. Travel beckoned. A gap year redux, but grander. New Zealand fjords for kayaking. Tuscany for wine tasting with Marco's clan. In Venice's canals, gondola rocking, Ryan proposed a vow renewal. 60 years deserves sequels. Ceremony small. Beach at dawn, Kai officiating, Lena petals tossing. Vows updated. Through vanishings and victories, I choose you. Homecoming brought harvest. Kai's academy expanded, inviting Alex for masterclasses, ghostbusting for Gen Z. Stories shared. Pilsen's humble starts to Paris's pinnacle. A student, queer immigrant, teared up. Your comeback? My compass. Ripples endless. Health's tide turned insistent. Alex's shoulder, swim-worn, needed surgery. Ryan's heart checkups routine. But resilience schooled them. Physio laps, adapted strokes. Miah moved closer, nesting backward. Jake's visits deepened, co-authoring updates to their book, Jake's Chapters Raw Redemption. Cultural waves crested. The biopic finally greenlit. Alex consulting authenticity. Casting Ryan as himself drew laughs. Younger model needed. Premiere night. Family packed. Standing ovation for vanished scene. Critics hailed. A stroke for equality. Activism evolved digital. Podcasts with Lena, lane lines and love, dissecting biases. Listeners flooded inboxes. Your vanish saved my swim. Ryan guested, chemistry crackling. Winters warmed with rituals. Holiday swims, glow stick races for grandkids. One Christmas, Jordan gifted a mural. Family tree with aquatic roots, branches rainbowed. Tears flowed, legacy visualized. 70s dawned reflective. Ryan's memoir sequel, Relay to Forever, delved later loves, grandparenting, advocacy's long haul. Alex penned forward. He was my best stroke. Challenges. A family rift when Ellie's in-laws balked at pride posts. Mediation over coffee. Alex facilitating. Loves no disqualification. Bridge built. Stronger. Elders camp in Florida. Alex and Ryan instructing. Peers sharing scars. Vanished once. Alex began. Nods rippled. Stories converged. Anniversary 70. Paris return. Sane strolls slower. Tower lights blinked Morse. Endure. Dinner whispers. Best vanish ever led here. Grandkids grew. Teens now. One coming out bashful. Alex's advice. Dive in, water holds. Pride swelled. Legacy audited. Scholarships numbering hundreds. Centers nationwide. Jake's foundation merged with Kai's. Marco chairing. A Thorn Award for outed athletes. First to that panhandle kid. Now coaching. One twilight swim. Alex paused mid-lane. Ryan treading beside. Full circuit, he said. Ryan smiled. And counting. Water lapped benediction. Love, the unbroken record. Sunsets over Ladybird Lake painted the sky in strokes of fire and indigo, a canvas Alex and Ryan had watched evolve through 8 decades of shared breaths. At 75, Alex's dives were memory now. Gentle wades where once he'd shattered worlds. But the water still whispered secrets, lapping at ankles like old friends. Ryan, ever buoyant, leaned on his cane by the dock, grandkids orbiting like eager minnows. Tell the vanished story again. Pops, the youngest demanded, Ellie's boy with freckles like Ryan's. Alex chuckled, settling on the warped wood. Only if you promise no cannonballs during. The tale unfolded, honed by retellings. Austin's betrayal, Chicago's chill rebirth, Paris's golden roar. Eyes widened at twists. Jake's grenade, Ryan's kiss, the relay's redemption. And you broke the record? Grandkid all peaked. We did. Ryan corrected, winking. Team's the real breaker. Miah, rocking on the porch swing, smiled. Her role as family archivist etched in photo albums thick as Bibles. But stories paled to living archives. News of the rollback fight culminated in victory. Supreme Court nod to protections. Alex's testimony cited. Jake texted victory emojis. Marco called with whoops. Lena, arthritic but unbowed, FaceTime from her assisted living cafe corner. Stirred the pot one last time, fish boy. Kai, retired guru, sent signed stats. Your ripple? Tsunami now. Personal tides gentled. Ryan's heart, patched and paced, demanded siestas. Alex's eyes, swim faded, traded lanes for audiobooks. Yet adventures persisted. Audio tours of queer landmarks. San Francisco's Castro, New York's Stonewall, narrated by Ryan's velvety timbre. Feels like swimming through history. Alex murmured in a Harlem brownstone B&B. Renewal vows at 80 loomed symbolic. Beach ceremony paired to essence. Kai's successor officiating, Jordan reciting original sketches as vows. Through every current, my anchor, Ryan vowed, voice quaver soft. Rings exchanged, simple bands worn thin, sealed it. Grandkids sprinkled petals, Miah filming misty-eyed. Home's hum deepened. Ellie's law firm championed athlete rights, crediting Alex's blueprint. Jordan's gallery show, Aquatic Affinities, featured Vanish-inspired series, selling out to collectors. Jake's grandkids interned at the foundation, learning equity from grandpa's stumbles. Marco's clan hosted Thanksgivings, tables groaning with stories swapped. Digital legacy bloomed. VR swim sims letting fans race. Alex's comeback, proceeds to scholarships. Podcast episodes archived, Lena's cackle eternal. A thorn wing at the Aquatic Center. Interactive exhibits, Vanish pod for reflection. Health's final lap circled. Ryan's declined first, mobility fading, but spirit sharp. Alex adapted. Wheelchair races and shallows, tales told bedside. Best co-anchor. Ryan whispered during chemo waits for a rogue cell scare. Remission came. They celebrated with porch symphonies, grandkids' violins lilting. Alex's turn. Hip replacement, rehab laps with Kai's virtual cheers. 85 and flipping. Lena teased. Pain sharpened gratitude. Every Acom medals echo. 90th bash. Hybrid affair, pool lit with lanterns. Toasts cascaded. Jake's to forgivenesses flow. Marco's from foes to family. Mia's brother. You swam us all home. Ryan's cane steady. My vanish finder, love eternal. Reflections deepened. Memoir trilogy capped. Horizons held. Alex's swan song on elder wisdom. Age doesn't still waves, it teaches their song. Challenges late. Family health cascades. A grandkid's coming out bullying. Alex zoomed counsel. Channel the hurt to hustle. When secured, school policy shift. Centennial neared dual. Birthdays twinned in planning. Paris one last time. Budget balked, but virtual saints sufficed. Tower lights via screen. Winter's Eve, 2090, snow dusting palms anomalous. Ryan, frail but fierce, gripped Alex's hand. Vanish again, he joked weakly. Alex leaned close. Only into you. Monitors beeped soft. Ryan slipped quiet, smile lingering. Grief's pool deep, but strokes communal. Funeral lakeside. Aquamarine urn, ashes swirled with petals. Eulogies flowed. Lena's fire, Kai's grace, Jake's humility. Alex, shattered but standing. He was my horizon. Swim toward yours. Solitary laps followed. Mornings waiting, Ryan's voice in wind. Legacy custodians rose. Grandkids curating exhibits. Foundations flourishing. At 95, Alex authored final letter. Vanished once, found forever. Dive deep, loves. Sealed for twins heirs. Twilight swim, last. Water cradling, reflections dancing. Record broken? Life's eternally. Fade to waves, love's unbroken blue.